This is Arts Alive. I'm Linda Philippi. My guests today are Emily Grosvenor and Mike Santenay. And if you looked closely at the credits, you will have noticed Mike Santenay's picture in our opening credits. Anyway, Mike is here to talk about Paper Gardens, and then Emily will speak about the Terroir Writing Festival. So, Mike, let's start with you.
Hi, Linda. Yeah, we're back again with Paper Gardens. This is our 22nd year. A beautiful book that is produced for the winners. The contest is basically poetry, prose, creative nonfiction, which is everything else, pretty much, for adults and children, age 6 to 106.
Whenever. Okay.
And our deadline is coming up, February 10. So 3 weeks, plenty of time.
Sure.
Plenty of time.
To whip out a masterpiece.
Yes. And this year we have wonderful judges. We have the poetry judge is Paul Ann Peterson, who was recently the poet laureate.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And actually was at Terroir last year and did a wonderful job. She's done some workshops here. So the poets, I think, are going to get a real good read.
Oh, good.
And then for the creative nonfiction and short story, Sam, I can never pronounce his last name.
Oh, is it Sam Snook Brown?
Yes, yes.
with his bandaged arm?
Yeah, he
oh
had
my goodness.
a disaster recently with his writing hand, no less.
I know, crazy.
But anyway, he's judging short stories and creative nonfiction. And so we're really excited about being that. And this year, back in 2006, which, God almighty, is 9 years ago.
Oh, no, don't even say that. Oh, my gosh.
We did Paper Gardens and we had pictures involved as well. And we reached out to artists. Well, this year we're doing the same thing.
Oh, good. Okay, great.
So, and our judge there is Phyllis Bradner, who's a founding member of the Currents Gallery, and and so we're hoping to get artists, both adult and children, the age from 13 through the teenage years, and then adults, and we're going to hopefully be able to print 2 art pieces from the adults and 2 art pieces from the youth.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
So we're hoping for, let's see, to again recap our categories: traditional poetry, free verse, which is
the 70s.
Yeah. Haiku, and poetry of place.
Okay.
And which is a category that sometimes could be any of the others.
Sure.
But it's sort of focused on, and we hope would reflect the poetry of that would reflect the place of Yamhill County.
Sure.
February 10th is coming right up.
Yes, it is.
We go to a lot of the writing groups. The McMinnville Library has a number of events, reading events, poetry, prose. In fact, Emily did a prose reading at one of the events that the library holds every month. So there's, and those are fairly large groups of writers that come in and talk about their work, read their work, and of course I'm always proselytizing about Paper Gardens.
Right, exactly.
It's a great contest. This year also, part of our committee is Deborah Weiner, who is a recently retired principal from Memorial. And she wrote a grant, and she's doing a project where we're going to celebrate, she's going to celebrate children entering the program, that is, entering Paper Gardens. So for their entry, they're going to get a wonderful little seed book that was that is for like a journal.
Oh, okay, sure.
And some pencils, and then they're going to have a celebration at the school where she'll gather up the entries and then pass out these books
Oh,
for
okay.
the different schools around.
I love it. That's great.
It's a nice, and I'm sure that Paula and Peterson then will go, oh my God, there's hundreds of applicants.
But that's a great way to get kids involved. I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah, and so we're really excited about
sure.
having this year be, and we're going to be at Chemeketa on Friday, April 17th. We have an award ceremony, and the judge introduces the winners, and then the winners can come up and they read, if they feel like it, they read their work in front of their family and friends.
Sure.
So that's pretty exciting too. And
Absolutely, yeah.
and so that'll be at Chemeketa here in McMinnville on April 17th.
Perfect.
So that's what I have to say about the paper gardens.
So what we need to say is to all of you out there in TV land, sharpen your pencils.
Yes. Get that envelope ready.
Okay. And more information can be found on?
On the Arts Alliance website, which
Arts Alliance of YamHillCounty.org.
You're right.
Right. Perfect. Okay, great. Okay, Emily, I guess it's going to be your turn then. Terroir.
So terroir, there's something really important we need to remember living in Yamhill County. A lot of us understand terroir within the context of the wine industry.
It's true.
However, we're finding more and more that terroir applies to so many other different types of different parts of life. So within our writing community, we see terroir as capturing the very best things of this county. The very things that could not happen or exist anywhere else. We're really fantastically lucky to have this festival. It's been going on for several years now. It was started by a group of writers who really wanted to have a thriving literary community here in McMinnville, but also in the wider county. And in the meantime, the festival has started drawing people from Salem, from Portland. As the word gets out, people are really understanding that this is a festival that is different in a lot of ways, but that offers something really satisfying for a lot of different types of writers. Writers working in poetry, writers who are nonfiction writers, fiction writers, people who are dabblers, people who have been writing their whole lives and who only now are deciding, you know, this is my year to really take it to the next level, and people who are working professionally in the writing community. It's very, very welcoming group. So that's who we are. That's kind of the identity of terroir. So this year, I've been involved with it as a board member and also as a speaker, and I can just say that it just seems to be getting better and better.
Good, that's
keeps
great.
Drawing,
Yeah.
I don't want to say bigger names because it's always had big names, but just a wide range of genre interests, and perhaps most importantly for kind of inculcating that next generation of writers, an even wider range of ages among the writers and among the genres. So this year we have some people who have been involved in the past and who continue to be really instrumental in the group. Barbara Drake is one of them. She was a founder of the festival.
Sure.
Former Linfield professor. She has a new collection of essays out this year called Morning Light that's being very well received. Lisa Olin Harris, who wrote a memoir about caring for her mother-in-law.
Which is fabulous.
Which is a great book.
Really
just
good.
Nominated for the Oregon Book Award.
Oh, good. Okay, great.
She's offering something new this year. She's actually doing manuscript critiques.
Okay.
We haven't done that in the past. So that's a new thing for the festival. We have Adam Gallardo, who is a Salem writer, who has written in the past for the Star Wars franchise, and who now has 2 books out within a series. The first one is Zomburbia, which is basically a story about if you were in high school and there were a zombie apocalypse and somehow you had started, the regular people had started coexisted with the zombies. So he has a second book out now in the series called Zombified that just came out today, I think.
There you go.
Harold Johnson, a Portland poet, he will be doing a poetry workshop. We have Stephanie Lennox, a very gifted poet who also lives in Salem. I think she's pretty beloved in our community too. She often reads here. She'll be giving a workshop. All of the writers are kind of finalizing what it is exactly that the workshops will be about. So within the next couple of weeks, we'll be releasing that information.
Okay.
Pauline Peterson, who we've already talked about, Oregon's 6th Poet Laureate, she will be speaking. Peter Sears, who is our current Poet Laureate, he will also be on hand. We've mentioned Samuel Snook Brown, whose novel Hagridden has become kind of a word-of-mouth hit among a lot
cult
of us.
Classic.
Right, around
Yeah,
the community
sure.
recently. He is, I believe he's giving a talk on incorporating historical research into novel writing. And we also, for people who like a little bit more hands-on experiences, we have a bookbinder, Marilyn Warricks, who will be doing a workshop in bookbinding.
Those are some amazing, amazing talents, and
Right.
it's going to. The thing that's hard to grasp is this all happens in one day,
Right.
and you have to make choices.
You do.
You can't do it all.
Usually there's 2 workshops happening at a time, and somewhere along the line,
Yeah.
you have to make that tough decision.
Exactly, flip a coin or whatever it's going to be.
Right.
I mean, I know that the day is very full, and there's a lunch in the middle, but it's just such a fabulous day. And when it's over, you think, "Wow,
Right.
I'm so excited."
It's very inspiring. I know when I was a very young writer, a young writer who wasn't really writing yet, I just found often just being in the company of writers was inspiring enough to get me motivated to read other works, to interact in a different way with texts. I mean, it's kind of this weird osmosis thing that happens. It's almost like the creativity in the air is enough to kind of
You just want to hang out at the library.
Right.
So we're not going to have a whole lot of time, Emily, so let's talk about where people can find the information about the festival and register.
You can go to the Arts Alliance of Yamhill County website, and there's a link to the Terroir Creative Writing Festival.
Okay.
And we also have our own website, so if you Google Terroir Creative Writing Festival, you should be able to find
It'll
it.
come up, and you can register and
Right.
decide what you want to do about the lunch thing. I know that's kind of a big deal. They want people to get it ahead, right? Something like that.
Exactly.
Sure. Okay, well, I'm hoping that we can have maybe both of you on again as we get a little closer to the events coming up the 17th and 18th of April, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Linda.